to the Recruiter Startup Podcast. I have Gareth McGlynn on the podcast, my first ever guest. Welcome back.
Thanks, Dualta. How are you?
Not great.
Are you not great because of the market, or are you not great because you're just back from LA?
I'm learning a little bit on the value of childcare, and I'm not sure I'm going to be complaining about paying for it in the future.
No chance. It's the best money I will spend in the future. Always a big cost before that, but now it's not even a cost anymore.
So Niche SSP supply white-collar construction workers, specifically focus on estimators throughout the USA. Husband and wife team, she's better than you.
True.
But no childcare. Husband and wife team, it's a nightmare.
In isolation, and in fairness, we went into isolation about 2 weeks ago now, so we kind of were a wee bit ahead of the curve, and the whole team as well. One of my team have got as a partner with underlying health issues, so I just said, listen, let's not take any, we can work remotely anyway, let's not take any chances, straight into isolation. But yeah, the healthcare was, or not straight into healthcare, the childcare was a big thing. 2 kids, one turning 4 next week, and the second one 20 months. So
a feral 20-month-old like mine.
Exactly. A tearaway who just doesn't sit. All he wants to do is eat all the time, doesn't understand breakfast, lunch and dinner, just wants to snack and just wants to watch Peter Rabbit. If I see another episode of Peter Rabbit, I'm going to go crazy.
And how you work in the schedule, you and the wife? Like what? Like, well, we can compare notes here because it's not pretty in my household. I'm only on day 2, and
no, and we haven't got a big house, so it's not as if we can run to the other side of the house. So it's literally I'm taking.
What are your 7 houses though?
I'm taking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we're doing time slots. So in the morning we get up, we do the exercise that Joe Wicks, whichever everyone's at.
Of course you do, yeah.
We get we play with it. One of us plays with the kids. Get the youngest one down for an hour, and then the afternoon becomes the productive time. In fairness, the 3.5, 4-year-old, she's really good. She can entertain herself quite well. So we do get a lot of work done in the afternoon, and then once they go down, then at 8 o'clock we generally get on and do a lot of the
admin. Like ourselves, before this, were you thinking you're going to take over the world in quick succession?
All those plans it's now about survival. It's crazy, but I have to say now we've learned a lot. Like the way I look at it, you only take the positives from it. When you look at it as a business point of view, the things that you really were spending money on that you shouldn't have been, and the areas that you were concentrating on that maybe you shouldn't have been. And then the other positive is when you get a chance to spend a month with your kids or your loved ones, it's unprecedented. We got to take advantage of that, and it's all to do with keeping people safe. And and the team as well have been very good. The staff, my employees, they've been very flexible. They've understood the situation that we're in, and they're working away, which is great.
Do me a favor, your screen's kind of bouncing there a wee bit.
Oh, I just had it by accident there. Maybe that's good now.
We might have to put subtitles on. I get a bit Donegal on my accent when I'm speaking to you.
Mine's shocking.
I remember whenever you first started in recruitment, and you came in, and you were so used to talking to guys on a building site from being in the mines, and you were trying to talk very normally on the phone.
That was a round peg in a square hole, and I was trying to be as square as anybody, and it just wasn't working. And I quickly learned that you just got to be yourself, and they've got to adapt more than anything. But I was trying to be someone I wasn't, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, you were doing that. We were throwing stuff at you.
Do you remember the white shirt with the wee pocket?
Oh God!
Terrible.
I don't think offices are like that anymore. Like
they have to be. If they're not like that, then as you say, you might as well work remotely or have a team divided up. But the crack we had was brilliant.
And we're talking Robert Walters, 2013.
That's right. Yeah.
And we both set up our businesses at similar times, and been on similar journeys from it. And myself, you, and Dara have been in a WhatsApp group talking about how we're going to survive the next few months. And before the chat, this is no lie, the chat 2 months ago was, where are we going to stay in Miami on this incentive trip we're going to bring everybody on?
Yeah. And it's changed from that to surviving and even getting out for lunch.
So I've spent all week doing these podcasts, and I've had some like big hitters in the industry on. Got lots of advice, and the crux of it, what I'm hearing is like, know your numbers, know what's coming in, get in touch with a bank, get whatever loans you can. Don't necessarily need to take it. Get on your credit cards, extend whatever you can. Mind your spending, and then it's this thing. What else did I? What are the good, nice pieces of advice that I get? A lot of it was just around, touching base with your client, your candidate, making sure that everybody's okay. Don't try and sell them anything. Fix your database. Maybe invest a bit of time in your marketing. But it's I find it very hard not to sell things whenever.
It is hard, but because we're natural selling beasts. But I always, and I'm trying to speak to clients and candidates as much as possible, but it's all preparing for the other side. I think if you focus on that, obviously looking at the numbers, speaking to your banks, your credit, making sure that the money going out is not through the roof, getting a hold of that, and then speaking about the other side. I think naturally people are a little bit more upbeat. And when you're talking about preparing for the other side, because I do see it at the minute. I mean, it's talking even Europe. The US had its worst day yesterday. Italy, Spain had its worst day yesterday. I think we're going to have another week or 2 weeks of real fear. And I think then everyone can start really focusing on what's going to happen afterwards, because it will end. It will come to an end. But the problem is we don't know when.
Well, Donald doesn't care. So Donald knows when it's coming to an end. And it May, we're back to work. He's put trillions into the economy. That stimulus package is going out to firms very soon. Lots of people are doing it. Recruitment companies have furloughed so many staff, they won't be able to bring them all back on. So there's an opportunity for small businesses like us. You're in the construction space. That area is going to get pumped with infrastructure projects. Trump's going to build 1,000 walls. So I know it's all propped up, but I can see a boom after this for a period of time, and an opportunity for the small, nimble guys to make some money. But again, it's just about what can we do between now and August to get stuff paid, like build and paid, and preparing ourselves to be ready.
Well, we had the advantage of going through it in Perth. Do you remember the mining kind of collapse when we were there? I think it was early 2014, when it just completely was decimated. I came in and everyone was making loads of cash, and we were 53 people strong.
Yeah.
Before you know it, the office has been cut in half. We're sitting with 27, 28 people, and we're scrambling for fees. But what Robert Walters did really well is they held on to as many staff as possible. They really did. Physically possible, and they were ready then on the up. And I think I learned a few lessons from Ryan when he did that. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep people as active as possible, because there is loads to do. There's always work to do, whether it's getting content ready for when it comes off, whether it be interviewing people. We're releasing the pre-construction podcast on Monday. So I've been interviewing people like yourself.
Where did you get that idea, lad?
I don't know, some bald guy in the UK. So we're releasing that. Just trying to keep people busy, getting the database right, speaking to as many people as possible, because there are people out there that are wanting to move job, but they're just not. They're fearful, and it's about building confidence. And what we're doing as well is, and this is always a good way to find out who your best clients are and who you really should be working with, because a lot of the guys
in the back door, Barry.
Exactly. Because a lot of the guys are still hiring, even through these times. They're preparing and they're being bullish. They're being aggressive. They know that the construction tsunami is coming and it's going to come in about 2 or 3 months. And if you're not prepared, like us, if you're not prepared for it, you're not going to make the money.
Yeah, I know. And just back on Robert Walters, they're a great company. One of the reasons they're a great company is they're not really built for top performers. They're really built for those middle, like good managers and middle line performers that are consistent over a period of time. And then as the grads coming and going, some of them make it, some of them dip in and out after 3 years, like us. And the business, as a result, is able to really stockpile a lot of cash whenever it comes to hard times like this. And then they'll just take a forensic look at it. You'll survive, you won't, you're worth it, you're not. Okay, great, this is all fair. No, it's not a snap decision. But what I'm seeing is in the UK, in London, and a lot in America too, like people just, it's castles made of sand. Like people were just hiring based on maybe potentially people making it, not having enough runway. And it's just been like, right, everybody, you're out. And then the government give them a little bit of a leeway and they've gone, yeah, fine, 70 are on furlough. Can you imagine bringing 70 people back on boarded into a sales process? How do you build that momentum?
Yeah, it's crazy. But I feel sorry for it because it's all about timing. And I don't know about Robert Walters at the beginning, but I'm sure there was a time when they went, right, we're going to have to go aggressive for a couple of years. And the companies that have done that over the last probably 12 months, 13, 14 months, they've been caught in a hop. They've really gone for it and invested, whether it be opening up in the US, whether it be aggressively hiring in the UK. And those are the guys I feel sorry for. But as you say, if you've timed it properly, you've got a few quid in the bank, then you can ride this out like Robert Walters have done, but not. I mean, as recruiters and as business owners, we're not good at that. We're not good at kind of being risk adverse. It's tough turning around and going, no, I'm not going to spend that money and hiring 3 or 4 more people. I'm just going to keep it there, and we're going to build steadily.
I think like after this, I'm going to grow quickly. When we get out of this, I'm now going to go the other side of it, like because I kept it really lean and like, and I almost feel like I want a more interesting project moving forward now. And I think the opportunity's there. Like the timing should be right for smaller businesses who kind of learn some lessons in this, been through some hard times, face some adversity. I've been analyzing markets that I think are good. I think healthcare is going to be a big thing. And I know that's obvious right now. But when we look at it from an international basis, I think people are going to be bidding for doctors and nurses. I think they're going to be bidding for scientists. And I think there's going to be other areas maybe that won't be as attractive. Like automation will start cost cutting now. People are going, what can a computer do? Because right now they're going, actually, people can work from home. Maybe we should automate this and maybe we should automate that. Well, we don't really need that administrator. I think a lot of the accounting and financial world will be automated. I think we're going to see a big swing. People are going to have to be really careful what they choose to recruit for. Are you hopeful on the construction market in general?
Hopeful, yes, but I think it's the same in the construction market now. I think adaptation within the construction market with IT has been slow, and it always will be slow. Historically, it's been slow. It's always the last industry to really innovate. But they're doing it now. They're doing it with prefabrication. They're doing it with 3D printing. They're doing it with drones. They're doing it with BIM VDC models. But I agree with you. Construction, there'll always be, especially on the pre-construction side. Historically, a company was always built up of maybe 60% field people. So actually people on the field building the project and 40% pre-construction design. But what they've noticed through companies failing and litigation and claims and all of that nonsense is if you don't have it right in the front end, so the pre-construction, the design, the architecture, then the guys on the fields will get the problems. So that 60-40 split of 60% in the field, 40% in the office is going to change, and it's going to go the other way and keep going. So it's going to get to about 60% in the office. So getting the design design right, getting the architecture right, getting the estimates right, getting the scope of works right, speaking with the subcontractors, building proper relationships. And then it's only a matter of, like a jigsaw, putting it together on the site. And again, prefabrication is a huge one. Prefabrication within healthcare will boom. So they're going to be building loads of hospitals. I think it's pretty known now that population in the US per ICU bed is the lowest almost in the world, because they're so heavily reliant on in and out, very, very quick pharma tablets. Now that's going to have to change if this happens again, which
is going to happen again.
It's going to happen again, and it's going to happen more regular, I believe. So they're going to need more beds, more hospitals, and the prefabrication, which is basically, it's built in a warehouse in Atlanta, and it's transferred to a site in North Carolina, and everything is built inside. Everything's built, so it's basically an ICU room, and they're bringing it and they're just setting it down, and they're bringing another one, they're setting it down on top of that, and all of the electrical, the mechanical, the piping, it just connects into one another. And it's ready to rock and roll. So cost will be a massive factor on that. It'll get reduced. Time, it'll be a massive. I don't know if you've seen it on LinkedIn. The 3 hospitals that China built in Wuhan, they were all prefabricated.
Right.
That's why they were able to build them in 10 days or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, what they said they would.
How come we're not doing that in the UK? We're just putting up tents, or doing them in national stadiums and stuff.
I think it's just a quick fix. I don't think the UK are set up to do it so quickly. And to be honest with you, the US are the same. At Jarvis Centre here, they're all just using convention centres. It's probably because they have the space as well, whereas in China they didn't have the space, or they didn't have the stadiums or the massive convention centres. So it makes sense just to renovate or fit out those.
When are we getting out of this?
The recession. Well, I put a good thing up on, and I've spoken to a couple of guys on Zoom this week. There's 2 types of people. There's the bullish people who just can't wait and see it as a real opportunity, and then there's the other guys that are afraid of their lives. I'm kind of in the middle, but a wee bit bullish. I think people are telling me the real bullish guys are saying mid-May, end of May. I think it's going to take a little bit longer than that. I would be happy if it was mid-June, end of June. Now, I'm talking about happy. My world, the construction world in the US, is back on site. Maybe a little bit of social distances. Maybe the mechanical guys and electrical guys aren't on site together anymore. A lot of contractors are doing that at the moment. They're saying, right, I'm happy to go on site, but I'm the only team on site. And they go in there, they do their work, and they get out again. And then it just means that timelines are increased, scheduling's messed up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've just been given a massive project of 15 people in San Fran. Not allowed to mention the global tech company that's going to be building the stuff, but that stuff's going to keep going. The hospitals are going to keep getting built. Infrastructure is going to keep getting built. So Trump's doing a good job.
He has your vote anyway.
I forgot my Trump finger. I have it in the house here somewhere.
I'm just happy you haven't worn your MAGA hat. You got your MAGA top on.
Yeah, big time. Always. That's my slacks.
So are you officially retired now from football?
No, I still dip in and out of it. On a Sunday when they need me, but just kicking the ball about 5-a-side. What about you?
I never got started. And right, that is all for today, Mr. McGlynn. When are we going to catch up on the flip side of this? We absolutely have to do our Christmas get together this year.
100%, yeah. And I think a lot of trips are just getting pushed out to November, December.
Yeah,
I think
it's going to have to be the annual Dara Everard conference that we do.
Yeah, big time. Dublin for one night only.
Well, that's all we can do in these days. Not like the glory days in Perth.
No, one night's enough.
All right. Thanks very much for coming on. Great to catch up with you as always. And if any recruiters fancy a job with the best construction recruitment firm in the world, where can they catch you?
Me, LinkedIn, the best place to catch me, or 646-503-5594, or email info@nichessp.com. But generally LinkedIn, I'm pretty active on LinkedIn.